Welcome to Wildlife World, where the breath of nature is intense, recreating the wild world as vividly as ever. Let's embark on dramatic confrontations, witness the survival instincts rise in every moment, and be captivated by the pristine, magical beauty of nature. Under the scorching heat of the steppe, the two legendary creatures rushed at each other like two living storms. Every peck, every bite echoed like thunder on the cracked ground, their predatory and defensive instincts reaching the peak of their power to survive without escape. As the cobra's whip slashes through the air, the tarantula responds with silk, speed, and cold precision. Wind, sand, and sun swirl into a raging vortex where every move is a challenge between sheer force and cunning strategy. The battle reached its final limit. Lightning strikes, repeated bites, silk shattered in the dry wind, both exhausted but not retreating. And in that moment, nature seemed to stop breathing, witnessing a fierce symphony of survival. Under the blazing sun of the African savannah, where every creature must fight to survive, a giant king cobra glides silently through the brittle grass. Its sharp eyes scan the landscape, unaware that a lone, fearless mongoose has locked onto the intruder. Small yet determined, the mongoose creeps closer, muscles coiled like a spring, ready for a life or death challenge. The cobra rises high, hood spread wide, preparing to unleash its deadly strike. In a heartbeat, predator and challenger clash. Each snap and dodge a stunning display of instinct and precision. This is far more than a simple duel between hunter and prey. It is a vivid testament to the wild's unyielding will to survive. Where breathtaking battles for survival and the pure beauty of life blend into a magical symphony of nature. In the middle of the sunny grassland, the atmosphere seemed to freeze. The hedgehog stopped, listening to every beat of the wind. And then, from the shadow of the grass, a figure slithered out. The cobra, The sunlight reflected off its spread hood. The confrontation began, and nature held its breath in anticipation. The snake darted like lightning. The porcupine spun to counterattack. The sound of quills hitting scales rang crisply in the dry wind. Blow after blow, each blow carried a primal, instinctive force. Dust, light, and movement merged into a violent vortex of nature. The snake squeezed in a last effort, but the porcupine counterattacked with a powerful charge. The spines pierced the bronze scales, forcing the predator to retreat. The indomitable will to survive of one who never gives up. In the middle of the sunny grassland, the porcupine stood firm, an indomitable symbol of the power to survive. Survival battles, authentic wild moments, and feel the strong vitality of the natural world. In the scorching heat of the savannah, Komodo paused as the wind carried a strange scent. In the distance, a giant python slithered through the golden grass, its scales glinting in the sunlight. The two giants had spotted each other, the silence before the coming storm. The python counterattacked fiercely, wrapping Komodo in a giant grip, seemingly overwhelming it. But Komodo suddenly used all its strength to bite its opponent's neck, causing the entire steppe to shake in the merciless fight. Get ready to step into a vibrant wild world where instincts are awakened, breathtaking encounters unfold before your eyes, and untouched beauty captivates you every second. middle of a golden field, two Komodos crouched low, their breathing labored, their snake eyes flashing like sparks. The confrontation was silent, then explosive. Venom, claws, tails sweeping and dust flying, every blow carrying the weight of millions of years of evolution. The princess Cobra-headed as gathers its prey, each strike as precise as a slash through the sunlight. Two Komodos join forces to close in a dance of dust and venom, where each strike, each breath is the boundary between instinct and survival. In the scorching heat of the sun, the Cobra launched one last lunge, but the Komodo spun like a whirlwind, clamped its jaws down, and slammed it to the ground, a decisive moment where instinct and strength peaked. Never before. Explore thrilling encounters, dramatic survival moments, and the raw beauty of nature. Amidst the scorched African seagrass, a fateful encounter is taking place. The secretary bird, a symbol of speed and precision, meets the king cobra, the ruler of darkness. Two predators, two worlds, entering a land where only one can survive. The snake struck like lightning, wrapping around its opponent's legs. The secretary bird spun, its wings stirring up dust, counterattacking with a deadly peck. Dust flew up, and the blazing sunlight reflected off every scale and feather, creating a chaotic yet powerful scene. Ready to witness breathtaking confrontations, dramatic battles for survival, and untouched beauty that will leave you speechless. Amidst the morning mist, two creatures stepped out from two different worlds. One, a silent assassin, the other, a thorny warrior. Not a sound, only breathing and instincts, tensing up before the fateful moment of confrontation. The golden dust flew everywhere. The two enemies spun around like a storm. Snakes rushed forward, birds counterattacked. Each kick and swing echoed with a dry, whistling wind. In the fiery sunset, This was no longer a match, but a test of the limits of speed, strength, and will. The two stopped in the middle of a silent sea of dust, a breath, a move, and then the final, explosive attack. When the dust cleared, only one creature stood tall. The snake coiled around crazily, but the porcupine turned around and counterattacked like a storm, sending a shower of thorns flashing across the forest. The sound of the collision was loud, and dust flew up. The snake struggled and lashed its tail fiercely, causing dust to fly everywhere in the forest, but the porcupine did not retreat. Each powerful butt landed, turning the match into a breathtaking confrontation until the last minute. And light intertwined. This was the moment when every breath carried the breath of survival. The eagle's pecks were as fast as lightning. The air shook with each strike. The snake jumped high to counterattack. Dust flew up into the sky. Both were caught in a fierce melee. The eagle stood still, panting in the middle of the sun-baked steppe, symbolizing the power and cruel laws of nature. Rushed to attack, but each of the porcupine's steel spikes returned like a natural weapon. Each bite, each headbutt was a mental blow, where instinct, pain, and the will to survive merged in the heart of the wild. In the suffocating chaos, every spin, charge, and bite turns into a fierce dance of survival, where strength, instinct, and will ultimately decide who stands firm in the sun-baked steppe. Join in the breathtaking battles, witness the fierce survival instinct, and feel the pristine, majestic beauty that you have never seen before. On the parched land under the blazing sun, two opposite creatures were preparing for their fateful moment. The majestic and cold king cobra slithered towards the small but prickly hedgehog. Both were silent, but the atmosphere was vibrating with the instinct of survival. The first attack was fired. The snake darted forward like a bolt of lightning, its body twisting in the golden dust. But the hedgehog immediately coiled itself, its armor springing up, stopping the predator. A battle of speed and defense began. In the arid steppe, two forces rise. The Komodo dragon, a giant hunter, and the steel-spiked porcupine, a silent warrior. The golden sunlight covers the fateful moment as the strong and the resilient prepare to enter a battle with no way out. The confrontation exploded between the dust and sunlight. Komodo vivid footage where the survival instinct, strength, and intelligence of all species blend together to create heart-pounding moments. From high above, the eagle swooped down like a living arrow. The wind wings whistled, dust flew up, the snake's head jumped up, fangs flashing. The two creatures collided in the blazing sunlight. In an instant, the entire space seemed to explode in a storm of instinct. The eagle spun around, unleashing a series of lightning pecks. The snake dodged, counterattacking with lightning-fast swipes. Claws clashed with fangs. Dust amidst the blazing sunset, the cobra lunged forward with a series of attacks, lightning fast in the hot wind. But the porcupine did not retreat. It spun around and counterattacked fiercely, its sharp spine standing straight up, charging straight at its attacker. The two were entangled in a dust storm and a fierce survival instinct. The ground shook as they charged. The snake squeezed hard, trying to crush its opponent, but the porcupine countered with sharp spines. Every move was a test of instinct, strength, and will to survive. Cobra slithered out of the grass. A glance, a movement, and the fight for survival began. Dust was kicked up as the weasels counterattacked, charging at the snake in a fierce and merciless battle. Just as the battle between the snake and the weasel reached its suffocating climax, the shadow of the giant eagle descended upon the ground. The sound of its wings screeching in the air, the predator from the sky had joined the fight. Now, the desert had become a battlefield of three forces, each with the ultimate survival instinct. Sand swirled in the